Happy Sunday, and welcome to the East West Sunday Kickoff Show. Week 10 edition presented by Grand Lighthouse Coffee. Make sure you go to grandlighthousecoffee.com. Use the promo code EastWest to get 10% off your purchase. And also, our good friends at Grand Leyenda Tequila. Make sure you go to grandleyenda.com for more information. Coach, I just want to say thank you for the bottles. Excellent tequila.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So, obviously, crazy week 9 in the NFL, right? So let me get your thoughts on it. Start off with Jerry.
Wow. What was that with the Patriots and the Jets? Were the Jets trying to blow the Trevor Lawrence sweepstakes? I mean, oh man. I mean that was crazy, right? Also the Cowboys giving the Steelers a run for their money, and that especially with that undefeated week. So, I mean, it was, to say the least, it was a spectacular game, a spectacular week of games. I mean, it was everything we thought, right? And some very upsets and surprises here and there.
Kendall.
Buffalo Bills putting it on the Seattle Seahawks. I know the Seahawks got a few garbage points there, but that was a great game, and the Buffalo Bills, they're for real.
Coach.
Well, there was a lot of things that stood out week 9. You know, obviously people will talk about the Saints trouncing the Bucks. But to me, it was Dalvin Cook. This guy in the last 2 games has had 369 yards and 6 touchdowns. And, man, they're on a 2-game winning streak. He's averaging 184.5 yards a game. I think what he's doing is spectacular.
Walter.
Yeah. For me, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, week in, week out, they take everybody's best shot. Even if you look at Carolina last week, Carolina played a pretty solid game. Teddy completed, over 70% of his passes, played mistake-free football, but the Chiefs continue to tell you that you want to slug it out 17-10, we can do that. You want 41-38, we can do that. You want 27-24, we can do that. So the Chiefs really stuck out to me, that they just keep on rolling, and I believe they're still the team to beat in the AFC right now.
Man, I can't believe the Saints did that to the Buccaneers on Sunday Night Football. That was crazy, man. By halftime, the game was over. I mean, I don't know what was going on with the team. It seemed like they were trying to pass the ball more, and they should have tried to run the ball a little bit more, right? So that was my biggest surprise of the weekend. I mean, that was crazy, right? All right, so busy week 10 as well. So we got some injuries. So I'm just going to go through those really quick. So including players are going to be out today: Christian McCaffrey, Kenny Golladay, Kyle Allen, Gardner Minshew, Laviska Shenault, Justin Jackson, Joey Bosa, Devontae Freeman, David Johnson, Joe Mixon, Chris Carson, Carlos Hyde, Shaquille Griffin, Deebo Samuel, Tevin Coleman, and Raheem Mostert. So those are your inactives for week 10.
That's one hell of a football team right there.
It really is, right?
Leave it to Walt to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
But remember now, you got Minshew playing quarterback, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not for
right,
long. Not for long.
Yeah, not for long.
Isn't
All
that
right.
what Michelle stands for?
Yeah, not for long. All right, guys. So week 10's today. We have a lot of teams that are still in the playoff race. But let's go over some pretenders and contenders. Start off with Jerry.
Man, I don't want. Why do you put me on the spot, right? Because when I was writing, I was going over my notes. I was like, "Are the Steelers pretenders?" Ugh. So, right now, I'm gonna be bold, and I'm gonna go with that. Steelers are my pretenders.
Woo. Mortis, you see, Coach.
But I have 2, and the Buccaneers.
And the Buccaneers.
Yeah, so I had 2 teams, and the Buccaneers are a little bit above the Steelers, and then the contenders, obviously, I'm gonna be bold: the Buffalo Bills and the Seahawks. I mean, and the Chiefs and the Seahawks. So I got a couple teams out there.
All right, Kendall.
I'm gonna start with my pretenders. My pretenders are because they're in a bad division. They're really not that good. So I'm gonna start with the pretend. I'm gonna go with the Eagles. Then I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bears. They're not a good football team. My contenders. This might surprise a few people, but I like the Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders are for real.
That's right.
There you go, kiddo. We're on the team.
All right, Coach.
Well, my contenders obviously are the Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The pretenders, and this is hard for me to say, is the Seahawks and the Titans.
Walter.
Okay, well, as far as pretenders, I'm going to go with the Rams. I know that the Rams are still in contention in that division, but they're 5-3. First half of the season, they fattened up off the NFC East. They beat every team in that division. Look at the second half of the season, things pick up for the Rams. They got 5 of their final 8 games are against the NFC West. 2 against Seattle, including today, 2 against the Cardinals, and they got 1 against San Francisco. Now, as far as contenders, I'm going to go to the NFC North. I'm going to look at the Packers. The Packers are 6-2, and they have just as good a chance at winning that number 1 seed in the NFC as anybody else right now. You look at the South, the Bucks and the Saints are pretty much going to cannibalize each other. The Bucks have already lost the tiebreaker to the Saints, and the Packers have already beat the Saints. And if you look at the remaining 8 games of the Packers schedule, they got the Bears twice, but they also got Carolina in there. They got Tennessee. They got the Lions in there. They got Jacksonville. So they got some pretty winnable games. I think the Packers could easily get the 12 win and get that top seed.
All right, Walt. Thank you. All right, so start off with my pretenders. Look, I know the Buffalo Bills. I know the Buffalo Bills had a big one against the Seattle Seahawks, but I'm still not buying. I think they're pretenders. And then Seattle. I mean, you're not going to be able to win a Super Bowl with that defense that Seattle has. It's horrible. Contenders. Now, Pittsburgh. I was one of their biggest critics in the offseason. I did not see them being 8-0 at this point. They're the only undefeated team in the NFL. So that's my contender. And then also the Raiders. Now, let me just tell you why with the Raiders. So they won today. They go to 6-3. For the rest of the season, they only play 2 teams that have winning records at this point. So they're still undefeated in their division, and they should win today against the Broncos. So those are my contenders.
Are they contenders as far as just winning the NFC? Well, as far as making the playoffs, or do you think the Raiders can really go all the way?
Well, the offense can keep up with anybody in the league, and I truly do believe that. Now, defense that's where the question marks are. So
Yeah.
if they can have some corrections, they did a great job against the Browns. Not so much a great job against the Chargers last week and Justin Herbert. So we'll see. I think today's going to tell us a lot about that team.
Yeah.
But speaking of one of the teams that I had as contenders, the Pittsburgh Steelers, can the Steelers go undefeated this season? Start out with Jerry.
No, I think the Steelers. No, I don't see them going undefeated, especially with last week's game with the Cowboys. You had a quarterback you picked up off the street. You got a dismantled offensive line that not blocking. Zeke wasn't Zeke. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Zeke. Zeke can't even get going. For the Cowboys to, I mean, it looked like the Cowboys were going to win. It really did. At one point I was like telling myself, at one point like. What are you doing, Cowboys? But it's. I mean, as much as I would like to see all my top teams win, that's one where it's one of those things. I know coaches hate to hear this, right? But that's a business decision that a team has to make at this point, right? Do we go ahead and secure the bag with the picks, with the draft picks? And I'm saying like right now, I mean, they're literally whoever has the top number 1 pick has a lottery pick in essence, because you're going to get 3 first-round picks if that's not your quarterback. I'm talking about Trevor Lawrence. So, but getting back on subject, no, the Steelers are not going to.
And we got Jaime Lopez Jr. Bengals win today. Hi, Coach.
Yeah.
All right, Kendall.
No, they're going to lose in 2 weeks to the Ravens on Thanksgiving night, so they're not going undefeated.
All right, Coach.
No, I don't think they'll go undefeated either. I think they got some tough battles ahead. And just me knowing Mike Tomlin a little bit, If they get to the end of the year with the record being what potentially it could be, he's going to rest the starters. And so that'll be the other reason why I don't see them going undefeated.
Where do you see the first loss?
Wow, I can't find it yet, but I do know it's coming. It's hard to go undefeated.
All right, thank you, Coach. Walt.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no. I think the Steelers, they're undefeated, but they haven't really looked that dominant. They look pretty dominant defensively at times, but I just don't think they're that dominant of a team to really go 16-0. But I do believe they have a shot after today, if they win today, of getting to that December 13th matchup at Buffalo. I believe they can get to that game 12-0. If they get past Buffalo December 13th, then I think it's clear sailing. So they may have a chance, but I believe that Buffalo game is where the train comes to a stop.
Yeah, I think they might lose Thanksgiving night against the Baltimore Ravens, but I do feel like they're going to get the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they're going to be the only team that has a bye week in the AFC. So that means Kansas City would play the lowest seed because they're going to end up being second. But yeah, I think they might lose to Baltimore, but they're a great team regardless, right? So, and they're going to make a Super Bowl push. All right, guys, let's talk some fantasy. Let me bring in Clayton. All right, let's try. Remove from stream. Give me just a second. All right. Oh, Clayton. Clayton, can you hear us?
Just a second.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning. All right, Clayton, we need your help. Who we sitting? Who we starting week 10?
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
All right. Well, a couple of things to keep in mind for today is we do have some weather concerns. We've got a couple of games approaching 30-mile-an-hour winds. That's never good for a passing game. Okay, so you're looking at the Texans Browns highly impacting the game. Keeping that in mind, I think that could be a big boost for Austin Johnson. This is a week where tight ends are in dire demand with George Kittle and Travis Kelce outright. So Austin Hoover could be a nice little check down for Baker Mayfield. Duke Johnson is going to benefit from that because he's going to be heavily involved not only in the run game but in the short passing game coming out of the back as well. So Duke Johnson gets a big boost, especially with David Johnson out. If you're looking for a quarterback to fill in, look no further than Fidel's own Derek Carr. He is no jabroni, as he likes to say on Twitter. Quoting behind the sheet. Derek Carr is going to get a Broncos secondary that is very banged up. Bryce Callahan, AJ Bouye, all those guys are banged right now. Of course, there's Justin Simmons, but one guy can't cover all those weapons that the Raiders have, unfortunately. So I would expect for Derek Carr to have a good game because of this struggling early strong Denver pass or run defense. And then DJ Chark is going to get a juicy match and starting if you're in a pinch. If you're looking to sit somebody, I would sit Rashad Higgins. He's kind of been the fill-in for Odell Beckham Jr. taking the top off. He did it in the Bengals game. I think with the wind concern, he's going to have a hard time getting the ball. Giovanni Bernard is going against, as we all mentioned previously, a really, really good Steelers defense. I don't expect him to get much going on the ground.
All right, Clayton, thank you so much. All right. Little technical difficulties. Apologize about that. All right, guys. Let's get to some bold predictions. Week 10 bold predictions. Start off with Jerry.
Man. Are you sure you want to do this to me?
Don't do it. I already know where you're going.
Steelers lose. Steelers losing today. I'm sorry. Give me Joe Burrow. Coming in clutch. T. Higgins. And they hand the Steelers their first loss. I think Cam was on the COVID list, and then he's off, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't practiced all week, right?
Nope.
So give me. This is my bold prediction. The Steelers get their first loss of the season today against the Bengals.
Well, that's bold.
I
Really?
wanted to leave it to the bold predictions.
All right. Kendall.
My bold prediction, I'm gonna go with Jerry Judy. You know, they're gonna be in Las Vegas today. He's gonna put on a show. Catches 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Woo!
That's
all over the all
That's
over the
bold.
Ravens.
All right. Coach.
My bold prediction is the Bills go into Arizona and beat the Cardinals.
That's bold.
That's very well possible.
Yeah.
All right. Walt.
My bold prediction is I got the Bucks dropping the second straight. I think they're going to Carolina today, and they fall into the booby trap, and they leave with another loss today. I think Carolina is better than. I think Carolina's the wrong way to go with Matt Rule, but I think the Panthers are a little farther along than people realize, and I think they're actually competing. So, yep, I got Tampa dropping another game today.
Well, interesting what you said, Walter. They actually, their plane ride was supposed to be, I think, 2 hours at the most, and ended up being about almost 8. So they're in the air for a long time. So not too sure if that's going to affect them. But yeah, I do agree, and I think we're going to get some rain in Carolina. All right, my bold prediction. I don't know if it's bold, but I see the Houston Texans beating the Cleveland Browns today. That's my bold prediction. All right, lock of the week. Start off with Jerry.
Oof. Well, I mean, there's a couple interesting, right? Like what you said, what the Patriots, they had a delayed. They were supposed to arrive at what time? I don't know. What's the story, Kendall? Well, you know
Tampa Bay
what?
Buccaneers, not the Patriots.
I'm sorry, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They were supposed to. They're gonna lose. That the Panthers are gonna win, man. I actually we said this on the actual podcast. And it's just crazy how things are just lining up in that sense where you're depleting that team of its energy. You know what I mean? And I mean they're coming off an ugly game against an ugly loss against the Saints. So my pick of the week, and I said it on the podcast, was the Panthers were going to upset the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I'm just going to call in Tampa Bay until
right,
they start proving good.
All right, Tampa Bay.
All right, Coach.
I'm going to take the Steelers over the Bengals.
All right, Walt.
I'm going to take the Raiders over the Broncos. I think Broncos secondary, too many injuries right now. Carr is hot. That secondary is hot. Too many weapons. So, Raiders.
Yeah, I don't want that smoke right now from the Raiders. They're good.
Yeah. Kendall, can you hear us? All right, we'll come back to Kendall. All right, my lock of the week, Raiders over the Broncos as well. I don't know what's going on with the Broncos besides injuries. So, well, let me ask you guys this. What do you guys think of Drew Lock? What do you think of his play so far?
Man, personally, I like it. I like his grit. I think that he really needs to kind of slow down a little bit. I think he's moving too fast, faster than the rest of his team. I do think that he has a spectacular arm though, but man,
Coach, what do you see in Drew Lock's play?
Inconsistency, just hasn't made the leap yet to a consistent player. The pressure of making the right decisions for 60, 65 plays a game is a little straining right now on him. So he's got to make that jump, or they're going to be hard pressed to win a lot of games down the stretch here.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of East West Sunday Kickoff. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe and enjoy the games.